Okay, so the airlines are taking this seriously, but so is the Department of Justice, and that's why economist Mike Davis is here to continue the conversation. They have said, Eric Holder says, this is going full board. We're not going to back off. What is the problem?
I think this is basically the government trying to extort a little bit more from both airlines before they'll allow them to merge. They'd like a few more concessions. We heard about the Reagan National situation. Right. A few little things like that. I'd be really surprised if the merger doesn't happen, and I'd be really surprised if the Justice Department has the courage to actually take this to court.
Really?
Yeah.
Because Eric Holder doesn't seem to think this is taking any courage at all. He is saying the American people deserve more and deserve better.
Yeah, it's tough talk, but they've got to go into court and prove that there's something unique about this merger that wasn't true with the other mergers.
Right.
And that's just going to be a hard thing for them to do.
But couldn't it be a case of, fool me once, shame on me, fool me twice, or shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me, because they were saying after the other mergers, prices went up and passengers are the ones who suffered.
Look, we've had years and years and years of airlines not being able to make a profit. That couldn't have gone on. What we had the last couple years was the airlines finally getting back to profitability. And if Holder wants to complain about businesses being profitable, he's not going to get much sympathy when he goes to court.
It seemed like both airlines were really caught off guard. Like if the Department of Justice was going to do something, they would have done this months ago.
Oh, everybody was caught off guard.
Right.
If you look and see what happened to the stock price today, it collapsed.
Yes.
And the reason is because no one thought that the Justice Department was going to do what they did.
That it was just going to move on, no problem.
Well, because that's what they've done in the past. We have other industries that are more concentrated than the airline industry where the Justice Department hasn't intervened. This is just completely out of character for what has been going on in antitrust.
Well, I just don't see how both sides can say, listen, we've got the passengers' interests is what we're thinking of. I mean, how can that possibly be when you've got the airlines over here and the Department of Justice doing this lawsuit on this side?
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of hypocrisy and crocodile tears all the way around. But American and U.S. Air and all the airlines have to figure out a way to be profitable. And we've seen in the past that that's very, very hard. And these mergers may be a way back to profitability.
All right, so you mentioned some possible concessions, that's maybe what the government is looking for. Are you talking, what are you talking about? Opening more takeoffs and landings to smaller airlines?
Yeah, it would be more competition in certain markets. The other thing that's going on that's really kind of sleazy is you've got these state attorney generals here who are part of the suit, and all they really want is to make sure that service continues in certain small markets within their states. And as soon as they get that guarantee, they'll probably back off.
You think that's what's behind Greg Abbott standing up? And
I think, yeah, we have an interest. He has an interest in making sure that, the airplanes fly down to College Station and other sorts of small markets where they aren't very profitable. And so if the airlines promise to stay, they'll back off.
But I think sometimes when you look at the profit margins, it's sometimes the Spirit Airlines and the Southwest and the smaller airlines that seem to be doing much better than the larger airlines.
Yeah, and well, Southwest is no longer a small airline.
Well, okay, that's true. I put them in the wrong category.
But yeah, no, absolutely. And a lot of the issues we saw in all the major carriers, but certainly with American, those were self-inflicted wounds, at least partly self-inflicted wounds. They let their cost structure get out of hand. They let their employee relations sour, so they weren't providing the service that they should have been providing. And, it wasn't, the merger's not a magic bullet, but it seems something has to change, and this is something that may work.
Well, I think passengers want to see the airfare stay low, but that seems almost impossible no matter what happens.
Yeah, and I think passengers want everything. They want great service.
I want a big, roomy seat. I'd like some free food, and I want it cheap.
Exactly.
Right.
And please let me carry my big old bag on
Absolutely.
board.
But me and my kids on first.
Yeah, and it just can't work that way.
Doesn't work. All right, we'll keep watching. Thank you so much, Mike, for coming.
Thanks.
I appreciate it.